It's goal setting, but focusing on one habit to get you closer to that goal. And that's what inspired me to launch this episode, to talk about it today, because it's so fitting for 2024. Parenthood is challenging enough as it is, and getting organized sounds easier said than done. Now, combine these two together, and it's truly a balancing act that many of us struggle with day in, day out. If you're here, it's because you want to know how to get your life and home more organized and structured where the kids are involved too, so that parent life is a little easier and you can focus on what truly matters. Hey there, I'm Dianne 𝗥𝗲𝘃𝗶𝗲𝘄, owner and founder of One Tidy Place. I created this podcast because I know parents have their hands full. I know this because I have 3 kids of my own. Each week, we'll talk about all things organizing, teaching kids life skills, and contributing to the home, being on the same page with your partner, and raising your kids together while you tidy up, go out for a walk, or just need some real talk. I'm here for you. Thank you for tuning in. Are you ready? Let's do this. Welcome to the first episode of 2024. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you had a great holiday season and that this new year presents you with lots of wonderful opportunities, lots of success, patience, and projects that you've probably put aside all last year and years before to finally coming to fruition and getting your home closer to that dream home feel. Now, speaking about goals and projects getting done, this is what this episode is going to be about today. So I just wanted to start off and kick off the new year with this special episode. And what makes it also special is that it is episode number 50. 50 episodes. What better way to kick off the new year with 1, goal setting this year and getting it to stick for the rest of the year. And number 2, that it's episode number 50. Very sweet because it's already been 50 episodes and it's kind of like a cool milestone for me. So I'm pretty proud of that. All right. So today's episode, like I said, is about goal setting and sticking to those goals. Now, where I found the inspiration for today's episode is when we're not doing anything, we typically just scroll our feed and whatever pops up is whatever we see. Now, this particular day, this post popped up into my feed and I thought it was really cool because it was about goal setting. But more importantly, that it was something that anyone can do because it's about a goal that you can just set one action. It's super simple. It's doable because of that, and that it focuses on one habit to achieve that goal. I'm going to say that again. It's goal setting, but focusing on one habit to get you closer to that goal. And that's what inspired me to launch this episode, to talk about it today, because it's so fitting for 2024. So a lot of times when we do put goals out there, we often don't obtain them or we don't achieve them because maybe the steps that we've created towards those goals are too complicated. It's too many steps, right? Or we're not managing our time enough, or it's just too big. It's too much of a big bite for us to chew, right? And another problem is consistency. We're not consistent with the steps and getting ourselves to actually do the steps to reach those goals. So that's why seeing this post, I saw that if consistency is the problem, maybe it's a little too complicating. And so that's why this method or this technique is so perfect, because it's simple, it's actionable, it's doable, and it's just one habit. All right. So this post appeared on my feed, but it was from back in November 19th, actually from this Instagram handle called the Self-Help Planner, all in one word. She's got a lot of tips and strategies for goal setting, but this particular one landed on my feed and I snatched it right away. I saved it and I took notes, and I even did one goal setting for myself that I'm going to share with you at the end. All right. So her strategy is setting goals and only keeping it to 4 goals that you're going to work on for all of 2024. Now, if you're going to want to see the visuals and how all of this works, I'm going to link the social media account in the show notes. After you listen to this episode, head to DianneJimenez.com/50. All right, so 4 goals to focus on this year. And that is goal number 1, what do I want to do? Number 2 is what I want to have. Number 3, who do I want to be? And goal number 4 is how I want to live. Now, you can make this out to something to have a theme, whether it's for your health or for your job or for the projects that you have, or it could be just a little bit of everything for each of these goals. It's all up to you, whatever you want to work on. But hopefully with the examples that I give, it sparks up some ideas. And if you head to the Self-Help Planner's Instagram handle, you can see how she sets it up, and you can get an idea from there of how whatever goal that you want to set up and go from there. All right. So you can just take about 15 minutes to do this exercise. It shouldn't take too long, and just off the top of your head, write them down. So you're going to take a paper and split it up into 4 quadrants. On the top left, you're going to write what I want to do and list all the things that you want to do. Like if you want to go on vacation this year, or if you want to write a book, or if you want to finally organize your project room or empty out your garage so you can install those shelves to make organizing a lot easier. So those are things that you want to write in that top left corner, what I want to do. Next, you're going to write the action, the one habit that you're going to do to achieve that goal. So if I'm going to give the example of decluttering and emptying out my garage so that I can install my new organizing system, the habit that I have to do, and I'm not talking about me, this is an example. The habit that you have to do is declutter, right? So before we can implement a system or an organizing solution, first step usually is to declutter. Get rid of the things that don't need to be in that space, no longer serve you, that no longer are of any use, and they're just sitting there, okay? So that would be a habit that you want to have, to establish for yourself in order to get your shelves up in your garage, okay? So now you would do the same process for the next 3. So you go to the next quadrant and you write at the top, what I want to have. That could be anything. You want to have new boots. You want to have a meal plan written out every day, or you want to have more money, whatever it is. And then from there, what is the one habit or the one action that you need to do in order to get to that goal of creating a meal plan that's healthy for you and the family, that's consistent, that you're not going to get tired of, that's easy to do. So for an example, for me, it is I want to have a healthy lunch ready for myself and my daughter every single day. So I've instilled the habit in myself that every Sunday, I'm going to batch make salads for the rest of the week. So I make this big giant salad of whatever I want to put in there with my dressing, and I'll separate them in food containers, sometimes 4, 6, or 8 of them, and they're ready to be picked up and grabbed for lunch the next day. So that is the habit that I have now been doing for the last few months. So making those batch salads on Sundays, and sometimes if I have to, on Thursdays. So it's part of my routine, okay? The next one, who I want to be. So that's on the lower quadrant. You can write at the top who I want to be. Now that could be someone who reads more, someone who is more of a leader. You could be a parent who listens more actively. Now, what is the action to do that, to achieve that? If I take the example of being the parent who listens more actively, the habit that I have to practice every single day is probably to listen first, not say anything, basically zip it, and let the other person talk. Usually let our children talk or our spouses talk first, listen to what they have to say, and don't speak until they're finished, or don't say the first things I want to say to react to their words. So it's not an action reaction. It's a listen, think first, and then speak. So that is part of active listening. The one habit is to zip it first and just listen, wait and listen. And the last quadrant is how I want to live. What kind of life do you want to have? One with less clutter, one that is more stress-free, you're not running around, a healthier life, okay? So if I go with something that's less clutter, basically a habit that you and the family ideally use so you can lead everybody else is to start picking up what you put down. So kind of using that one touch rule. You pick something up, you use it, and then you finish using it, you put it away right away. And that is for everything, whether it's a meal, you're baking a cake, you're writing notes for a project that you want to do, or if you're trying different clothes on. You put everything away right away, and your house will be a lot less cluttered. Now, the good thing about this is if you practice this habit yourself, your kids and your family will see this. Hopefully, they pick up on it. Hey, I do this. Watch me. Maybe you can follow in my footsteps. You know what I mean? So just to recap, the 4 goals is what I want to do, what I want to have, who I want to be, and how I want to live. And then you put action or a habit, one step action or habit that you can do to achieve those goals. Now, I gave you the examples, right? Now, I actually did this exercise and it took 15 minutes and I wrote down my own goals for 2024. And this is like a work in progress still. But I wrote down for what I want to do for 2024, I want to read more. And the action that and the habit that I have to instill for myself is to set aside 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes a day to just read a book. 20 to 30 minutes. To set my timer, I will do that. Because I don't do that. I used to for a bit, and I wasn't consistent about it. But this time, just putting that one action of setting my timer, I actually might put it into my calendar as a reminder to do that. I'm going to do that. It's going to be more of something that I will do because it's in my calendar. I'm going to have a reminder. I'm going to have it easy on my watch to set the timer. So I can just press one button, and wherever I am, I have my book. I can just read for 20, 30 minutes. My second one, what I want to have for 2024, well, more money. Yep, I'm going to say it there. I would like to have more of an income. Whether I'm manifesting it out there, great, sure, that's what I'm doing. So what is the action that I'm going to instill within myself to do to be active about this? Well, that is to launch my course that I'm going to be launching this coming March, at the early March, end of February. Well, the course will start in March, but I will be launching it mid to end February, and that is my activity chart course. So if that is something that's interesting for you, just keep an eye out for it. Follow me on Instagram, follow my podcast, and I'll talk about it more there and on Instagram too. But just keep in mind that I will be launching a course out by mid-February. Okay, so that's how we'll be getting more money this year, because I've never launched a course before. I've never done this in the past. So by doing this, hopefully the money will come. All right. Number 3, who I want to be. Well, thought about this a lot. And the automatic thing is for me to be healthier, but more specifically, more mobile, because I find that I've just been sitting a lot longer these days, especially, we're watching TV. There's not really much happening, or it's the holidays, or there's a strike. So I sit, I watch, or I sit and I work in front of the computer, or I sit and I'm on my phone. So I'm constantly sitting most of the time. So I need to stretch more, be more mobile, be a lot stronger, get my body moving. Okay. So I'm committing myself to stretch. I have a couple of guys that I follow on Instagram, and they have exercises that I've saved up, and I have their accounts saved on my phone so that if I need to do like a quick 10-minute workout of stretching and just movement exercises, I got them in the palm of my hand. So if this is something that's interesting to you, I will link their Instagram handles in the show notes as well. Now, finally, how I want to live, and that is with less stress, less running around in craziness and chaos. Now, already I've kind of implemented that over the holidays where I really kept it low key during Christmas, the 24th, 25, 26, where it was just us five at home. There was no turkey dinner. There was no planning of having everybody over, no frantically cleaning, nothing, and getting everything prepared. I said no stress, and saying no to more things. So I didn't want to have all that on my back and on my plate. So I said, no, we're just going to keep it to us five, and we're going to spend time, just us, hanging out, chilling out, and having a really great family quality time over the holidays. So for hopefully, well, not hopefully, I'm planning on carrying that over to all of 2024 of being less stressed. And my action towards that goal of feeling less stress is basically sticking to my set plans and saying no to things that I don't have the bandwidth or the energy for. Now, a few weeks ago, I had created the plans and the goals for my business in 2024. And every week I have things happening with the school and volunteering with the school and with the Professional Organizers of Canada Association. So all those dates are already in my agenda. I just have to make sure that there's nothing else that I'm putting more onto my schedule and into my calendar. So by respecting my own boundaries that I have set for myself, that's how I'm going to be less stressed and of having a more calm feeling inside. So that's what my goals are, and these are my actions for 2024. I hope this inspired you to do the same things, finding one goal and the one simple action item that you can do to achieve that particular goal. So again, just head to my show notes so that you can click onto the video or the Instagram reel of the self-help planner to see how she explains it. And by listening, hopefully, to this podcast episode, it gives you more of how to do things and more examples of how to do it for yourself. So my action item for you is to create your own 4 goals for 2024 and the 4 action items that you're going to do to work towards achieving those 4 goals. So if you do have something, you only need to spend 15 minutes on this. Don't take too long on it because it doesn't have to be that long. Just think quick, actionable, and simple to get this done. I can't wait to find out what you have in store for 2024. And please let me know what they are on Instagram. You can DM me at @OneTidyPlace. You can take a screenshot of it and tag me on your stories. Or you can also DM me on Facebook at Dianne Jimenez. I'd love to know what your goals are for 2024. So that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for being here. I wish you all a very happy, healthy, and successful 2024. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you again next week.